Welcome back. It's the final leg of tonight's Daily Rundown, and we still have to hear from Drew Tosh. What have you got to say?
We don't have to.
We have to, in the interest of fairness.
Fair enough.
Which is what we're all about here.
Drew, I'm always interested in what you have to say.
There you go.
I never hear that very often.
Validation.
Well, I guess it's talking about heroes and hero worship.
Ooh.
So on the one hand, right now you've got the Olympics and you've got these people doing incredible things. They train for 4 years. Very like a 10-second shot at glory. They work hard, they have the great work ethic, they have a goal, they have ambition, and yet people now tend to look up to or want to aspire to the other end of the spectrum, which is reality TV stars, of which there are now, it used to be that TV had great programs and a little bit reality. Now it's the other way around. You might get a half-decent program stuck in amongst Four in a Bed, X on the Beach, Geordie Shore, all these awful programs of real people just being unpleasant to each other. Yeah. And the apex of this entire thing is Celebrity Big Brother, which I have to admit...
Celebrity?
Yeah. And it's the fact that people are sort of like impressed or want to aspire to some of the idiots that are in there who've been on reality shows doing other reality. Like there's a guy called Bear who's just a complete and utter self-publicising thug. There was a girl called Chloe, somebody with knockers out to here and fake everything, who didn't have two brain cells to rub together, but was like a glamour model because she was quite happy to take her top off and simulate sex in the bathroom with this Bear guy. And all these things going on, and it's like, I just worry that these are the people we see more of on television, that young people see more of on television, might be, you know, impressed by, because it's like, oh, I could do that, I could get famous just by doing that, then I don't have to try and work harder, have an ambition or a goal. And yet for, you know, the 4 weeks every 4 years, you just see just the complete opposite of that, and what you could do, what you could try and aspire to. And I think we need more of that on TV than all the rubbish that we get now, because it's depressing to see someone can just get a massive paycheck to go into that house because they've been in some awful show where they've stood on the beach in their trunks and tried to get off with somebody. That's not a skill, that's not talent, it's not
It's just your 20s.
Yeah, well, exactly. Now that's been seen as a career, and that's like it makes you a star. Well, it's not at all. It makes you maybe infamous, but not famous in all the right ways. I just think we're just seeing too many people like that now in all the sort of the visual medias that are not. They're pushing all the real skill set out of the way.
Whose fault is it though? Is it like, this is what people want to watch? Because we're getting, you've watched it, haven't you?
They didn't get, I don't think they got you need a balance, and I think there's no balance anymore, and that's the trouble. These shows are on all the time because they're cheap and easy to make.
They're so cheap. Really
cheap, and all they have to do is stump up a half-decent paycheck to somebody. And actually, the people within that house, it's quite interesting, it's like cycles within cycles. There's people like Samantha Fox and somebody else, and I can't remember who it is now, who actually did have successful careers.
Well, Biggins was in there, wasn't he?
Well, yeah, and there was the double side of thing. He said some things that were maybe a little bit unfortunate. This other guy's been physically violent and breaking and damaging things, and he's still in there because he makes better TV.
It's so interesting,
it's hypocritical as well. So there's all that going on as well. But there's also just the fact that there are people who have had careers and having to use a talent. I mean, obviously Samantha Fox was known as a page 3, but then she had a pretty big singing career, music career.
To be fair, I think she's coming across well.
And even she's saying, oh, on my day you had to have some skill, some talent. So they're in there and they're realising that they have to now play the game. You don't have to have any abilities now to get on, to be on TV now, to be recognised. You just have to be there and be as appalling as these sort of younger people are. And it's just so incredibly depressing.
You worry about young people, who they'd aspire to.
I totally do, because you know, why should they try and do something that requires effort, talent, hard work, when they can just do something outrageous on some reality TV show and then just keep getting paid to turn up on these shows, you know, week after week, because there are so many of these shows now.
It's like
you can make a career.
They just do the rounds of all the various reality
endless
shows.
People, and people are on there. Why are they on there? You know, I don't have cable channels, so I don't see half these shows, but you can pretty much tell what they're about.
Yeah.
And it's just, these are not people that should be being celebrated.
I always think it's funny because you go back to the first Big Brother and everyone was like, what? Why would we want to look at real people? It was a social experiment in a real house? How boring.
They're all media savvy now though. They go in there and they know the game.
It's horrible to watch.
They think, if I have this romance with that person, I'll get an OK magazine deal when I come out.
Yeah.
The first couple of series, it was quite sort of, sparse and untroubled by all that time. But obviously people catch on and they know what they're supposed to do, which role they're supposed to play. So, it's a freak show.
It's a freak show. They're not themselves. They don't want to get ordinary people on.
Yeah.
Take 10 people from one street, ordinary people, and put them on, because they're saying what's going to entertain. So they get on
outrageous.
Freaks.
Yeah, they've got more and more outrageous.
Bad actors mostly posing to be freaks. And that sort of thing. But the celebrity ones, they had Neil Hamilton, didn't they?
No, what's his face with the moustache? Got George Galloway.
Yeah, they had a lot of them.
Oh, yeah, that was a low point.
High
point
with the cat thing.
Yes, they do have a lot of sort of like political figures who try and think it always a profile.
Well, we have Ed Balls is going to show up on
He's doing
Strictly Come Dancing. Now, I don't think Strictly. I think we've talked about this. Strictly is different.
That's different. That's you have to learn a skill.
Doris Karloff. What's her name?
It's a competition.
Widdicombe.
Yeah, they used to call it Doris Karloff.
But you've got to work hard, you've got to learn, and that's a talent. Then that is an entertainment program.
No, to put the physical.
So that's not a reality show. I've never seen that as a reality show at all. If you've got a skill to learn, you've got to work hard. Then that's a different class. But these things, people just turn up and just that's it.
We still watch it though, Drew.
I think I'd like to start. To be honest, it's on at a time there's nothing else on, but there's nothing else on because they won't make proper programs anymore. But now you could watch the Olympics all through the night, so watching some late night reality show, and that's what you probably should be doing, to see people actually aspiring to something, But I think I'm fighting a losing battle with this one.
Oh, it's depressing on that note.
It is.
Because I feel like it won't turn around. Where do they go? Because we've pushed it and pushed and pushed it. We've got surviving in the jungle.
We've got sex box. There's some
naked
blind
dating.
date thing now where they're naked.
Yeah.
That's the show.
It's pretty shocking.
There's nothing else. There's nowhere else to go.
Where
is
will we
there?
go next?
It's terrifying.
Murder
Snuff movies, something horrific. It's just The Purge.
No, I have to say, I do think it's very nice how they're promoting the Olympians at the moment. Obviously, we're doing so well.
Second on the table
and
now.
Even across the advertisement, we're second on the table.
And that Channel 4 thing, Yes I Can, for the Paralympics that's coming up. That's an incredible advert.
It's fantastic, and I think they have they've got Jack Whitehall in doing advertisements with a lot of them as well, that's that generation. I do think there's a move towards it, but there'll always be that kind of lowest common denominator, won't there? Drew, thanks very much for that one. Let's try and squeeze in one and finally before we go, because we don't want to go too depressed. Should we hear or worshipping us? Look at us here.
Let's not take it that
Putting
far.
Our time. A couple have had a Greggs themed wedding after falling in love over a steak bake. This is fantastic. The colour scheme matched the chain's logo, and the 3-tiered cake was complete with Greggs themed treats. Wedding guests even sat on tables named after the sandwich chains. Products, that's including Yum Yums and steak bakes. Would you say pie do at Greggs for your wedding?
I would have been a guest at it. I wouldn't have done that myself. I'm on a diet now, so Greggs is the enemy. But for a fast food chain, it's probably just as good as anything else. But
would you pop into Greggs for on your run, breakfast on the run?
When I worked in Tooting in London, I used to get off at Tooting Broadway. There was a Greggs
I know there. I used to live there.
And I'd buy my lunch at the it's a Mitcham Road. I used to buy my lunch from Greggs. They'd make a sandwich for you. So, you have the sandwiches you can pick, but can you do one without the cucumber or something? They do it for you. And it's better than a lot of the places. It's better than, what's it called? The one with the French name.
Patisserie Valerie?
No, that's overrated.
Shouldn't be saying that.
Pat's calf.
I was going to say that's low. Is that not bad?
Pat's calf.
There's another one. Anyway,
gelatinous.
I don't think Greggs is all that bad, but I don't eat the fat stuff. I mean, I can't eat that. I just used to eat their sandwiches for lunch.
What's the sub one? What's the sub thing?
Subway.
Sub club.
Subway.
Yeah. They offer a pick and mix.
Loads of food. I feel like Greggs for a wedding though, I always feel like really taking the wedding breakfast to the extreme, because I feel like Greggs is breakfasty stuff on the run. I would never go
I'd love to know more about these people.
Yeah, I wish we had a picture of this wedding as well. That would be interesting to see.
It would be, yeah.
Maybe they're like donuts. What kind
of person? Could be the donuts. What kind of person wants to go in and have their... I mean, it's great publicity for Greggs, to be fair.
Overweight.
To them as your caterers. Where would you? Is there any kind of food, fast or otherwise, that you would consider having an important event like your wedding, using them as your theme?
No.
About the
I'd
Golden
use my
Arches.
local cafe
The Golden Arches.
I'd use my local cafe. I think
Would
that-
you?
Yeah.
As their whole catering. You'll have to tell us what that is on when we finish up here, David. That is all the time we have for though, guys. Thank you so much to my lovely guests, Drew Tosh and David Semple. We'll be back tomorrow night again with another daily rundown. So until then, from everyone here at the studio, a very good night.